Well, good afternoon, good afternoon. Here we are, another Tuesday, another day that we've never seen before. Well, we're talking about 6 cardio workouts. Don't be scared. So, for those that want to learn a little bit about cardio workouts, Martin will be on today um, to give us some information. Also, I think I just want to tweak this a little bit. So we're scheduled for 1 o'clock. But as you know, some people are available, some people are not. So between 1 and 1:30, make sure you follow us so that you can get the notification when we do come on live. So let me see. Go ahead, Martin, if you want, and I will have you go ahead and click the plus sign at the bottom, because I noticed that when I invite you, we get interference. Okay.
Weight loss, cognitive, and also it helps with your sleep. Hey, Martin, how are you? I'm
Hi,
doing
Jewel. How are
well,
you?
thanks. Well, I'm doing
Good, good,
well, but
good.
I'm really not doing well. As you know, we're in a time where people will insult your intelligence. They'll also say things to you just because they don't understand you or they don't take the time to understand. So these 6 cardio workouts are good because not only does it help with sleep and cognitive and other things, it's also good for mind body practice so that people won't be so, angry when they meet people that will take them off their healthy choices. So I just want to put that in there and to let people know. Um, I saw you where you said, don't be scared. So, yeah, we don't want people to be scared about cardio. So, what do you have to say about the cardio workout? You mentioned you had 6 forms of cardio. Take us through that, would you?
Yeah, so you spoke a little, you touched a bit on it in terms of just what are the benefits of cardio besides, hey, I'm trying to lose 10 pounds and I need to sweat. Well, if you want to sweat and if the goal is to sweat, then we can make you sweat. We don't have to go for a 5 mile run or a 6 mile run or sprints to do all that to get the run. And actually, these types of cardio actually increase your metabolism so that that way you can actually get the benefits of what cardio is supposed to be, which is to help you increase your metabolism so that everything in your body just is able to move smoother, let alone you have regular bowel movements, regular mindset in terms of what you're going to do in the morning, what you want to do in the towards the evening, and how you want to end your night. And then, like you just said, in terms of just having an overall better day with your hormones being checked in place, with your stress levels being kind of put away because you can kind of alleviate most of the stress with these types of exercises. And the biggest thing is with these types of exercises, we're not adding more stress. So sometimes you'll go to the gym, but then you'll leave the gym and you have back pain, or you'll leave the gym and you have elbow pain. Well, what was the point of going to the gym if you're just going to add on another nuisance or add on another issue? So these are there to help you with the cardio, but to also alleviate that pain from coming back or reoccurring or from building up in terms of in due time. So I know a bunch of people go on jogs. Like I was just, there's a few mountains that are relatively close to where I live. And there's, older women, older men going out for walks. And then there's some of those older men and older women perfectly fine, not overweight or anything. And they're jogging and they're running like at a good pace. And it's really not something you want to do in terms of unless you're looking to do long distance running or this and that. But if you're looking to just get a good heart rate pump, I think there are better means to go about it than to go for a jog or than to go for a sprint. Obviously, if you're an athlete, there are cardio exercises where you have to do it, and those are most likely fitness tests. But these are just overall something that you can do and not worry about. Am I going to the gym and doing enough, strength training? Do I need to do more? Do I need to do less? So with all of these, I would suggest 30 minutes would be good, 30 to 45 minutes. Really doesn't matter what time of the day, but I would suggest whatever time of the day you do pick, try to make that as consistent as possible. So if it's Monday at 9 in the morning, make that Tuesday 9 in the morning, Wednesday 9 in the morning. Maybe not every single day, but at least 4 to 5 days out of the week where it can be consistently at that same time to give your mind and your body a routine. And that way you can start getting into your higher conscious, your higher self from there. So I'll just dive into it, and I know we'll talk a little more into it on Thursday. So I'll just go through them, and then if you have any questions or concerns, obviously we can talk, and then if anyone else wants to jump in, we can go from there. So and these are in no particular order in terms of which one's better or than the other. So these are just in a random order. So number one, walking. We all know the benefits of that, and I won't go into each one particularly benefit right now. I would like to go into the benefit a little more on Thursday, but I just want to just tell you the top picks that I have, and then we can talk about them in general and go from there. So the first one I have is walking. The second one that I have is swimming. And that's one most people don't really think about. The third is cycling, whether it's on a motorcycle, whether it's on a real bicycle or on a stationary bike at a gym or at your house, cycling. The fourth is rowing. And now most people don't have a yacht, a canoe, and to go on a body of water. But I know most gyms nowadays have that equipment where it's a rowing machine, and that's very beneficial for the cardio as well. The fifth I have is yoga. Not many people would associate yoga with cardio, but in terms of being able to hold poses, being able to work on your balance, being able to work on your stability, those are essentially what we're trying to do in terms of getting our heart rate pumping. And lastly, I have here is strength training, but I don't want to recommend in terms of anything where it's you're doing dumbbells or you're doing like two different exercises in one. Strength training in terms of our talk is just something where you're tapping into each body part that you feel. So something for your chest, something for your back, something for your legs, something for your abs, and such forth from there. And that's the type of workout I would like to do in terms of if you are committing to a strength exercise, do something where you're tapping into majority of your body parts. Instead of just focusing on, okay, today I'm just focusing on my upper body. I would suggest, take a little bit off that and do 50% upper body, 50% lower body, and get a good full body workout. And you don't have to go heavy weights every single time. You can do, on a chest, bench press, or even push-ups. If you're doing push-ups, do 10 push-ups. Those are things that you can do every day. I think the type of talk we get where it's like, hey, don't go to the gym back-to-back days and do the same muscle group. Those are because those guys are really doing heavy weight on a specific muscle group, and they can't go at it the next day because that muscle group is actually recovering the next day. You know what I mean? But if it's something where you're doing light weights and you're doing a pull down, and then you're doing some push-ups, and then you're doing some squats, and then you're doing some waist twists. Those are exercises that you can do almost every day. Obviously, you want to change it a little bit. But like I said, when it comes to cardio and these particular ones that I picked, these are all low impact. So I know even people want to, even jumping jacks is, hey, jumping jacks is simple. I'm just in my place. But I don't even recommend that for people that I'm starting off with just because I don't like the impact that's being put on their foot. And even moving, it's a little of agility and strength. If you think about it, on the jumping jack, I don't want my clients to go there. And what I recommend to go there. Now, if you're already training and you're a little more in the intermediate level, then okay, you can go with the jumping jacks. But I'm talking about in terms of a beginner level. These are the 6 that I would recommend for individuals to jump in on. So, your thoughts, Jewel, and if anyone else wants to
Okay.
jump in on their thoughts,
Well,
I'd
those
love
are
to hear that.
good. And I
As well.
actually do yoga. I do yoga nidra for weight management. So we're going to have to do a live where you and I could possibly demonstrate asanas. The
Yeah.
swimming is great. I used to swim a lot, but I don't anymore. You said strength exercises. Now, for me, I
Mm.
do the elbow, knee, the burpees, uh, planks, but they've been killing me because I took that out of my little regime, but I'm going to implement those back into because we're getting into springtime and I don't care what anybody says. Nobody wants to see flab all over the place. I've been there. I've been a size 22 for the ladies. So it's not like, okay, now I'm a size 6 or a size 8. It's not about that. It's
Okay.
about feeling fit. And my
Yeah.
other favorite that I do is kickboxing.
Mm.
Now, and
Mm.
I'm not doing that on a regular basis, but I will say once a week, kickboxing did help with my midsection, with my arms, and it,
Mm.
and I like the formation. I love when I wear short sleeves. My arms are fit, but like I said, I'm more mature, but I don't care what anyone says. Nobody likes flab when they're trying to put on clothes. And now, see, all the clothes that I have in my closet, where am I going? I wear workout clothes, I wear scrubs. But every blue moon, especially 2023, later part of 2023 and 2024, I may be out in the wilderness again, so I want to get in shape for those times. But yeah, those are good cardio workouts. And yeah, I look forward to us getting into a deeper conversation about that. So let's,
Yeah, the reason, and when I talk about those specific workouts, I'll also break into kind of the rest to work ratio, which is very, very, very important. That's the difference between just training and developing, where you're actually going somewhere, or you're just beating yourself down and you don't know where you're going. Some people think that, I did a 15-minute jog, and they're just jogging for 15 minutes. I'll actually give you articles, and it's actually proven that actually running at the same speed for
okay,
long distance actually accelerates the
yeah,
aging process. And we don't want to do that. So what we have to do is we've got to play tricks on our mind, tricks on our body, and we've got to think of it as
yeah,
an engine. And it's like a gas pedal, and you've got to push the gas pedal, then you've got to release it. Then you've got to push the gas pedal, then you've got to release it. So we'll break it down a little more into the details. Someone's like, oh, I do cycling every day. I don't see a difference. Well, it's the type of cycling, it's the type of workouts you're doing, and the type of rest to ratio that you're doing as well. So today, I just did a cycling for my cardio. I did cycling today, but I did about 2 minutes as hard as I could on the bike at a decent resistance, and then resting for about 45
okay,
seconds, and then I go again. So it's just different ratios of rest to work ratio, and once you've managed that and you know what works for your body, it's game over, and then you just work with that. So in the beginning, usually people are at a 1-to-6 ratio, so they're working for about 20 seconds. They need about a minute and a half to rest, and that's for some people like, well, I don't feel like I'm working hard. I don't think that's not the point. The point is we want to work your heart hard, not your mind. Because your mind, if anybody's, hey, let's go hard, anybody can go hard. When your back's against the wall, you can run forever, but we don't want to do that. And your heart will go. We want to be able to make sure that we want to get the right thing out of the cardio and make sure we're tapping into how we want to strengthen our heart. And strengthen your heart doesn't mean just going one full distance. It's working, working, working for a set amount of time, and then relaxing, letting it recover, letting it bring down to rest rate, and then we bring it back up, and that's when you get the fluctuation of the differences and the benefits of the actual cardio. So yeah, I'll talk into it a little more on
okay.
Thursday
Let
for sure.
me ask you a question. So we may have cardiac people on here. We may have people that just want to start doing stationary bicycling. So do we have a specific bike? Like, what type of cycle do you use? Are you doing stationary or are you outside riding bike?
Yeah, so so it's a stationary bike. Usually when you're outside, you'll have, natural ways of stopping when you hit a stop sign or you're at a stoplight or someone's going to cross the road. So those are your moments when you're resting. Give yourself about 20 seconds, 30 seconds to rest. But for myself, it's just a stationary bike. And then for those people that are looking to get started into the cardio and they already have kind of cardiovascular issues, like I said, what you want to do is whatever cardio workout you want to do, it's the work to rest ratio. So for me, I right away recommend someone who's just starting off at least 1 to 10 work ratio. So if you're going to work for 10, 20, let's say 10 seconds, you're resting 100 seconds, which would be about a minute and a half. If you're going to work 20 seconds, I recommend resting just about 2 minutes before you do that same activity again. And it could be anything. It could be running in place. It could be, cycling, rowing, whatever the workout is, but it's not getting your heart rate too high because we've got to bring it down. It's a heart rate zone method of working. And this is the type of training that I did when I was in Europe. You would have guys taller than me, shorter than me, heavier than me, but we were all fit, and that's how you can really manipulate the heart rate and your actual cardiovascular levels is working with the heart rate zone method. And usually nowadays when people have the Apple Watch, that thing will literally track your heart rate. And if you can work with that, that's even more, I would say, inclined to give you your better results because you know what's working for you. 10 seconds for you might be different for another person 10 seconds. So I really can't know the difference. For you, it might be 15 seconds. The other person might be 10 seconds. So overall, my principle is I would start off 1 to 10 ratio. Elite elite athletes are at least 1 to 2, 1 to 3. So there's your ratio of, okay, I can't go, I can't work 30 seconds and then rest a minute. That's
And
too much for me. So that's what I would
I'm
recommend
looking for a
in the beginning.
cardiac diet. There used to be cardiac diets. I don't know if it's good for people who are trying to do better, eat better. I do know that for some, their doctors have put them on a cardiac diet. I know that they have to do a stress test and those type of things. So if anybody's on here, what kind of questions do you have or concerns about cardiac workouts? Is there anybody on here that has a question?
And one last thing I'll say, Jewel, about the cardio diet is if you're going to tap into this cardio and take it serious, one of the aspects that I would like for people to increase a little more is in fiber. Once you start moving and doing cardio, your stomach's going to start moving, and whatever food is in there may not be in there for so long. And I've seen a lot of people, as soon as they get to the gym, they get on the treadmill for about a minute, and they're like, oh, I got to go to the bathroom because the stuff just starts moving, and it's just easier to flow out. So there is a benefit where you're like, man, I feel skinnier. I feel like I'm losing weight, but you're just actually just getting rid of what's in there. So you want to make sure that when you're doing this cardio, you're still pulling the nutrients from your food, and it's not just flushing out because your body needs energy. So one thing I will say is when you do take on this, I want to take myself a little more serious. I want to do a little more cardio. Up the intake in fiber a little more, have a little more veggies, and all that's going to do is just make sure the food that's in your stomach stays in your stomach, and you can pull those nutrients, and then you can feel good for the rest of the day. And then you'll know, hey, I can't eat a couple hours before I start my cardio because then it might be a little, so I might have to go to the bathroom, and then I can go. So those little things, tips and tricks for
That's good.
individuals.
And also for people to understand that their intestines, I know all the way back to high school, they should know by now that the intestines are so many miles long. And so what people think, they think, oh, well, I'm having regular bowel movements, but that may be true, but they still have waste that they never thought they had in the upper
Yeah.
region of the intestine. So it's good to eat as
Mm,
much fiber as you can to push all of that out of there, along with the asanas when you stretch and you reach up to the sky.
mm,
That will help move the intestine. And I think people are now
yeah.
realizing to be active is, I guess we can say, the best way. Uh, we have to be mobile and we have to move our intestines so that we won't end up with colon cancer. Keep your intestines as clean as you possibly can. That's why you want it better.
Yeah.
That's why you want to eat. You know, I still eat meat. I'm not vegan. I'm not a vegetarian. I eat clean, but I,
Yeah.
chicken, tuna, salmon, it processes better. So for those that love their, hamburgers and their ribs and their beef and all of that, it's okay, but just don't eat so much of it. And I think I ran a
Mm,
study where there's several studies, and they'll tell you to eat, the meat shouldn't be more than the inside of your fist, the inside of your hand. That's enough meat. But then
mm.
use a lot more vegetables, eat a lot more fruits, and that'll keep you regulated. And drinking your water and your teas, that's necessary, especially during these times.
Yeah. Yeah. I think especially because of the
Yeah.
season's about to change. We're going into kind of a winter, into kind of a little spring. So this is when your body's going to really take a hit, and it's going to see what you've been doing over the
Yeah.
past few
Yeah.
weeks.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting.
And that's the truth because I felt it coming a couple of weeks ago. Whatever it was, it
Mm,
could have been I was a little tired.
okay.
It could have been that I've consumed too much of something. My body actually said no, so I started eating more fruits. I'm doing more smoothies, um, just so many different things. I'm actually adjusting my body according to what it's telling me to do. And yeah, walking. Um, I used to do walking every Saturday on a live, and people from all over. We would walk 5 miles, or we would walk and talk, and that is
That's
that's the
amazing.
number one thing that'll get you regulated. But like I said, stay busy.
Yeah.
And I don't care, people say, oh, I'm getting older. It's not like we used to be. It's in the mindset. It's mind over matter. Because if you keep telling yourself you're getting older and you stop doing so much, you've already defeated yourself. So that's
Yeah.
something I don't
Yeah.
tell myself. I know I'm getting older, but I don't feel old, you see. So there's a
Mm,
difference.
exactly.
And working outside, if you have a garden, that's good exercise.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what else do we have to talk about here? We've got so much we can talk about. I see you got walking, swimming. What else you got? The strength exercise. What do you consider strength exercise?
Yeah. So strength exercise is anything that you're putting any resistance on the part of the body. Like for example, last week I did a live where I did a whole workout without even standing
Okay.
up.
I saw that.
And we were engaging with a little warm up. We did some core workouts, and I think that's what I think I'm gonna do going forward is just to manipulate the mindset a little more in terms of people have to really understand that the things that you see on Instagram, the things that you see on social media, those workouts, those are after like 3-4 years of training, and most of the time, those guys that are doing that or women that are doing that, they come up with an injury within a couple weeks, and then they're back in there trying to go hard again. So we want to tap into a lifestyle movement, not training hard for 2 weeks and then looking good and then stopping. What is a routine, what are habits that you can do for your life? Not for right now, not in my 30s,
Right.
not in my 40s, something that you
Daily.
can adapt
Hmm.
for the rest of your life. You know, and Jewel just tapped into it. Hey, I used to do swimming. Now I'm doing more walking. I did a 5 mile walk with these people. Now I want to do. Now I'm also
Yeah.
doing yoga. It's how you progress. It's how you develop. It's how you not develop. How you
That's
evolve as a person, and that just means you're just tapping into your mindset. You're just getting to know your mind so much more. Like, that's not working for me. I need to do this. This was what works for me, and I need to be consistent with it. And most of the time, you don't know that until it's too many years or after so many years. But here's a chance for you to actually just face those challenges, face them, face to face, confront them, and just say, hey, you know what? I got to commit a little more time to it. But it's once you start
yeah.
facing it, it's so much faster in terms of how it'll come to you. And like I said, there's no right way. Like, I had a quote that I put the other day. It said, there's no perfect path to
That's
success.
right.
And that's the same thing. There's no perfect path to health. I have some things that work for me. Jewel has her things that work for her, but we're aligning with ourselves with a healthy mindset
Yeah.
and a healthy lifestyle that we're working
That's
towards.
right.
You know what I mean? So
That's
that's what I mean in
right.
there.
And listen, I've been known to do 16 footers. It may, yeah, I've done 16 footers, but I'll tell you, it took me a while to do a 16 footer. I haven't done one in the last couple of years, but I'm known to do them. And I will say this, um, you have to find your pace because I
Love it.
challenge myself. I don't mind challenging myself. Why? Because we've got so much that we don't even, things happen every day. And I don't you may be shocked, but once you process it and get through it, you have to challenge yourself sometimes. Sometimes, you can just be walking down the street and something to catch you off guard. And then you have to train your mind to say, okay, was that on purpose? Because 9 times out of 10, yeah, it's on purpose. Just because, and for those that know you, if they know you and they trying to shock you and they want to see if you're going to buckle. But I'm here to tell you, I'm stronger than that. You can say whatever you want to say to me. It may shock me, but then because of my mindset and because of the way I condition myself, that's why I got my hunter sweater on. You see my hunter sweater? Come for me. I'm ready. I'm ready. So those 6 cardio workouts, good to know that I'm on track and doing some things. I am going to tweak a few things, but yeah, good stuff. Good stuff, Martin. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, just for me, I mean, the point of having a strong mindset is what you're actually displaying now. There's adversity, there's things going
Yeah,
against you. How are you going to deal with it? And some of the tone, the way your tone, and some of the things that you're saying is more confidence than I hear from my
yeah,
own peers. You know what I mean? And it's refreshing. And I'm saying it doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman or big muscles and this and that. It's the mind. It's how serious you take yourself. Jewel understands who she is and what
yeah,
she brings to the table, and she gives herself a lot of
yeah.
confidence for that and a lot of credit for that. That's how you have to push yourself. Doesn't matter what this person says. Doesn't matter what that person says. Okay, so it be. But I know who I am, and I'm going to stick to what works for me. And that's a beautiful thing. So if anyone wants to see what are the benefits of healthy choices, I mean, it's right here. It's right here, right in front of us. So Jewel, I really do appreciate you. And some of these people don't take this stuff lightly because they have less problems going on for themselves and they're complaining
Right.
more. So this is an excuse-free zone. We don't accept that. Zero tolerance. And we all, and here it's just about accountability. And if Jewel is taking this stuff 1,000% face to face, then man, no one else has any excuse. And I'm not saying anything to you, but I'm just saying there's other people out here that
Right.
need to prove themselves. and they're not coming as hard as you. You know what I mean? You've already proven yourself, and you're just, hey,
This
this is
is
who I
who
am.
I am. That's why I'm Simply Jewel. No more, no less. But what I will say is, we're going to come across a lot of disappointment, a lot of whatever it is. But what I know for certain is not what you're going through, it's how you handle the situation. Because people are always going to try and trip you up. We already know that's what, excuse me, that's what people do. We are in a time where people are nasty, they're evil, they are jealous, and they don't even know why. But it's your energy, you see. So once you get your
Yes.
energy up, let it come. Because if they don't take the time to understand for real, they can say whatever they want to say. But while you're letting people come at you, it's almost like, you don't live in a glass house, but it's almost like people will come at you and try to crack your window, and you're protected.
Yeah.
So protect yourself by making healthy choices, by getting your mind right, and let the chips fall where they may. That's all I have to say about that. But yeah, be encouraged and stay motivated. Eat healthy, drink water, stay mobile. All that other stuff, that's just life. It's going to happen. It's going to come. You're never going to be around people that are around you 24/7 that support you, or that go hard for you. Go hard for yourself, and then let everything else fall into place. But like I say, today is Tuesday. It's a new week. Let's see how people do on Saturday. Oh no, Thursday.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah,
Wow. You got me pumped.
Thursday.
Thursday. But you pumped me up. You got me going. You got me
That's
going,
right.
Jewel. You are amazing.
You
Love
got to
it.
keep
Love it.
going. You got to keep going. And that's what I'm saying. People are going to be discouraged, but take care of your body. We already know it's a setup. We already know that the world has lost their minds. We already know that the closest people to you aren't getting it. We know these things. So take care of yourself, take care of your mindset, and don't let, don't yes, it's going to bother you. It is realistic. It is real. We didn't say that we're living in a fantasy world. We already know this. But you still got to keep your mindset in order so you can get through the hard times, the disappointments. That's it. That's all. But yeah, so you guys tune in Thursday so we can talk about this, the cardio workouts. We can talk about the why you should do cardio workouts. We've already said, I've been rattling on here for the last, I don't know how many minutes, but that's the reason why you want to do cardio. You can't be scared to do cardio unless you haven't been to your doctor, got a complete physical to make sure you can do some strenuous exercise. But we've got a long haul, people, so you might as well get it together. And why not get it together with me and Martin? Because we're on it. We're ready. And if you're not ready, we'll keep going until you get ready. But we're ready. We're ready. All right, Martin. Peace and blessings to everyone. Thanks for your knowledge. And we'll see you guys on Thursday night, 6 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we may let you know, we may not. So by now, keep looking, keep sharing, keep supporting, and stay positive. Thanks, Martin. See you on Thursday.
Thanks, Jewel. See you Thursday evening.